function is continuous function of its independent variable pk, where pk is the probability of occurrence lies between the range 0 to 1. Second property says that the entropy function is symmetric in nature. That means irrespective of the set of probabilities, that is 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0.3, say for S1, S2, S3. If you calculate the entropy for these symbols S1, S2, S3 for probabilities 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0.3, or you reverse the order. You calculate it for S3, S2, S1 with the probabilities 0 0.3, 0 0.2, 0 0.1. The value of entropy will not alter. And it is obvious, very simple to understand. Now let us go to the next property, very important property it is. Hopefully all of you are sitting with a pen and page. That is very much needed, called as extremal property. What extremal property says? Let us first go to the equation itself. So the entropy extremal property says entropy attains maximum value when all the symbols becomes equiprobable. That means if you consider, you please write, there is a set S consists of symbols, say S1 and S2. Hopefully all of you are writing now. Okay. So now consider that probability of S1, I said only two symbols, S1 and S2. Okay. So probability of S1 and S2 say respectively 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Now if you calculate the entropy, what will be the result? Obviously 1. Very simple to understand. Even then I'll give a 30-second time, you calculate. Simple it is. H of s is equal to pi log of 1 over pi plus h of s is equal to p1 into log of 1 over pi plus p2 into log of 1 over p2. 1 over p1 and 1 over p2 value is same, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Therefore 1 by 2 into log of 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 into log of 1 divided by 1 by 2. If you bring 1 by 2 in the numerator, it becomes 2. 2 to the base 2 is 1. You know the laws of logarithm. That is, if you calculate the value of any value for the same base, the value will be 1. Logarithm will be 1. Therefore, it is 1. Therefore, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 is 1. Are you following what I am saying? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully, you got h of s as 1, no?
Yes, sir. Got, sir.
Yes, yeah. So that's what it is saying. So here, for proving that, that is called as extremal property. It is written here as by mistake external property. It is extremal property actually. Let me correct it. Extra. Okay, one more person entered. Okay, welcome. Extremal property it is. You know to. Extremal property. Extremal property. Let us say that we have got a set of symbols, say S1, S2, S3 up to SQ with respect to probability, say P1, P2, P3 dash dash up to PQ, and say that H of S is equal to summation I1 to Q Pi log of 1 over Pi, and say summation, you know this, and the summation of I1 to Q Pi, this is actually equal to 1, right? You know that if you add all the probabilities, the answer is 1. All of you please write, and you know it already, that the probability always lies between 0 to 1, and the maximum value attainable by the probability is 1. Therefore, if you add all the set of probabilities, that is P1, P2, P3, P4 dash 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 PQ, the answer will be 1. And this is a formula, obviously. You know this formula, right or not? where I'm pinpointing now. H of s is equal to I1 to q pi log of 1 over pi, and this is the property of probability. Now let us go. Consider that we have got one such curve here, one such curve. Okay, so this is a logarithmic curve. This is a logarithmic curve, and mathematically this logarithmic curve is expressed as y is equal to ln of x, natural logarithm. Natural logarithm in the sense to the base e. Remember this. Okay, so if you plot this natural logarithm where x is nothing but the probabilities, definitely you are going to have this curve which varies like this, exponentially varies, and it starts its values in the fourth quadrant, enters into the first quadrant, and it touches the x-axis. One more thing, I have taken a straight line equation y is equal to x minus 1, and it touches this logarithmic curve in this fashion. And both this straight line equation, that is y is equal to x minus 1, and this logarithmic curve y is equal to ln of x, right? So this touches here, this touches here. So that means at this particular point, the answer for both this equation, though both the equations are different, this is straight line equation, it is exponential curve equation, both will have the same answer at y is equal to x is equal to 1. That is the meaning. Now just put this in mind. Let us go to this one more equation here. You just concentrate on this equation, that is log of q minus h of s, log of q minus h of s. So now what I will do, log of q to the RHS side of this equation, please note down all of you, log of q minus h of s, log of q minus h of s, I have put the values, its equation, this equation I have put. You might be wondering, sir, where h of s came from? You know this equation. H of s is a drop equation, and this is that what it is, right? So now, in the first part of this RHS, I kept summation I1 to q pi. Obviously, because since here this value is 1, obviously if I put 1 here, no problem. In place of 1, I'll just put the summation 1 to q pi. Is it okay now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now see it here, in RHS side, summation I1 to q is common in the both the parts, this part and this part. You are seeing no, I1 to q pi log of q minus summation I1 to q pi log of 1 over pi. So what I'll do, from both these two parts, I'll take out summation y I1 to q pi common. Am I right now? I can take common now. Please note down all of you parallelly. I'll be going slow. That's why please note down, so that it becomes a practice to you people. So it is mathematics, until and unless you don't practice, just reading you won't understand. Right? So now summation I1 to q pi I have taken common. So what remains, I'll put it in the bracket, as you can see it here. Log of q minus log of 1 over pi I have kept in the bracket. Okay now? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Fine, very good. Now you see one thing. What are done here in the for the remaining part? Log of q minus log of 1 over pi are taken just to one particular right side of your page. You apply the log of logarithm. That is log of a minus. I'll write here. I'll take a new page. What I'm saying is log of a minus log of b to the same base. Remember, I have not written base here, so that's why is equal to. it can be written as log of, you know this already, even then I am writing log of into the bracket log of a slash b. It can be written like this. You know this property, no? What are written?
Yes.
Log of a
Yes,
minus
sir.
log of b, both are having the same base. This condition is satisfied. This condition should be satisfied. Log of a is also same base. Log of b also should be same base. That's why log of a minus log of b can be written as log of a by b, like this, to the same base. Now I'll go back to this. I'll go back to this. So now you see it here. I have applied that rule. Will I not get log of q into pi to the base 2 divided by log of 2 to the base c? Am I right? Again here what are done? Let us go back here. Let us go back here. What are done? This one to the base 2 it is. Okay. So once again what I'll do it here? Log of a by b, and here basis say e. Okay, so now whole divided by this, whole divided by log of log of 2 to the base e. It is log of 2 to the base e. So this is, it is here like this suffix. Are you following now? What are written here? Again it is change of base rule. Change of base rule. What I did first? One more property, log of a minus a, log of a to the base 2 it is. Remember it is base 2. Until and unless specified in information theory and in error control coding theory, you need to remember that it is base 2 only, not base e or base 10. Okay, log of a minus log of b, what are done? Log of a by b, it is to the base 2 only. It is to the base 2. Let me write it better. Better I'll write here. It is here. So right. So this is like this it is. Are you following now? Is it clear? So if you are not able to see properly, let me, is it visible now? Or shall I make it more clear like this? I'll make it say 24. Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Say log of a to the base 2 it is minus log of b to the base 2. So I apply one of the law of logarithm. That's why it becomes log of a to the base a divided by b to the base 2, right? So now one more law of logarithm I'll apply. That is change of base rule. It is change of base rule. So according to this law, what I'll be doing? Log of a divided b to the base e divided by log of this is actually here. Let me change this, log of e. So this is nothing but like this. Like this it is. Are you following now? I think you have forgotten the laws of logarithm. I am guessing like this. Simple it is. A log of a by b to the base 2. So I applied change of base rule. Change of base rule, it becomes log of a by b to the base c. Instead of base 2, I want base c, because we know that using calculator you can calculate to the base c or to the base 10. You can't calculate to the base 2. Why I done this? Because of this reason. To the base 2 you can't calculate in the calc. Now log of a by b to the base c divided by log of 2 to the base e. Now hopefully you might have understood, right? Yes or no? No.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So this is what it is the here, right? This is that one only. So the font size okay, no? 12 size it is. You are able to understand, no? Or no? Yes? So time
Sir,
being,
better make it 14 or 16.
no. Is it okay?
Yeah, okay.
It is 18 now. See it here. I'll read it for you. Log of q minus h of s is equal to summation I1 to q pi. It is 1 from this equation. It is 1. It is 1. See it here. Because we know that if you sum up all the probabilities, the answer is 1. The answer is 1. Therefore, this is 1. Instead of writing 1, I written this one into log of q. This is as it is. In place of h of s, what I done? I written the entropy equation. Okay, no? So what I did then? I took out summation I1 to q pi common. Therefore, what remains in the first term? Log of q. Then what remain in the second equation? Log of 1 over pi, right? What I did next? I did apply the law of logarithm, that is log of a minus log of b rule, right? That becomes log of qpi divided by, again I applied change of base rule, right? So that's what it is. Again suppose here, if I want to flip it, that means if I want to make this base as the power and power as the base, that is also permitted as one of the rules is, right? So then it comes in the numerator. How? It becomes log of e to the base 2. It comes out as log of e to the base 2. What it is presently? Divided by log of 2 to the base e it is. If I bring it in the numerator, what it becomes? Log of e to the base 2. Better you take one PUC 2 level mathematics book, the picture will be very much clear, right? So this equation becomes like this. Now come back to, you put it here, this equation as it is, log of q minus h of s. This is what we have got. Just remember this. Now come and concentrate on this diagram, right? So what it is, you know that by seeing this diagram we can conclude that ln of x ln of x sorry ln of x is less than or equal to, let me change the font size, let me make it 18. uh, ln of x, that is this one. This is my ln of x. This curve is representing what? Ln of x. This curve is representing what? Ln of x. So this is always less than or it is equal to at this particular value of x. At this particular value of x. At this particular value of x, both ln of x and y is equal to x minus 1 will be equal. Otherwise, as you can see in the diagram, this ln of x curve is always less than the straight line equation. Am I right or not? You understand this, then only I'll go further.
Yes, sir.
Nothing is there. See it here. This curve, if you put the value of x in this equation and if you start plotting, you do it later on, you will get this curve. And for the same values of x, you plot this straight line equation, that is y is equal to x minus 1. You are going to get this straight line equation, right? So obviously, by seeing this diagram, ln of x is less than x minus 1, except for one value, that is x is equal to 1. At this x is equal to 1, both ln of x and x minus 1 will be same. It will be same. Now I'll do a little bit changes here. That is, what changes I'll be doing? Simple, nothing more big changes. So instead of ln of x less than or equal to x minus 1, if I change the sign, that means if I multiply both the side by minus 1, what it will become? It will become minus ln of x less than or equal to 1 minus x. Earlier what it was? It was x minus 1, right or no? See it here, in this earlier equation it is ln of x less than or equal to x minus 1. But since I multiplied both the side by minus 1, it becomes what? Minus ln of x less than or equal to 1 minus x now, right? So as per one of the property of law of this one, so let me go back here again. See it here, minus ln of x can be written as, see it here, ln of x to the power minus 1. What is happening here? I'll let it once again. That is minus ln of, why it is happening like this? Minus what is happening here? Ln of minus ln of x, this is equal to, this is equal to, this is equal to, it can be written as ln of x raised to minus 1. I'm setting in the keyboard, I've changed it. So what I want to say is, so minus ln of x is equal to, it can be written as ln of x, okay, raised to, now I written it correctly. See it here, are you able to understand what I written? Minus ln of x is equal to ln of x raised to minus 1, or else this can be written as, this can be written as ln of x, actually 1 divided by x, it can be written as. Are you following what I have written? Yes. Minus ln of x can be written as ln of x raised to minus 1 power. This x raised to minus 1 can be written as ln of 1 by x. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So I'll be using that one here, right? So that's what it is, this equation, right? So then let us go to the next point. So if I consider here x as, if you consider x as 1 over qpi, then what it will become? Then ln of x will be what? ln of QPI. Am I right or not? Because here in this equation it is ln of 1 by x. So I consider x as 1 over QPI. Therefore it becomes ln of 1 divided by QPI. That becomes ln of QPI. Therefore this is greater than or equal to 1 minus x. In place of x you keep 1 over QPI as it is. Therefore ln of QPI greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 divided by QPI. Right? So this is what it is. Therefore now in the LHS ln of QPI. So what I will do it here, I will do some little bit modification. Then ln of QPI is greater than or equal to, let me make this one bigger one because we are saying not visible. So if I make it like this, so hopefully it is visible. If x is equal to 1 over QPI, then ln of QPI greater than or equal to 1 minus 1 over QPI. Therefore now if I simplify this, I is equal to 1 to q pi ln of QPI greater than or equal to summation I 1 to q pi. See, this is 1. Don't wonder from where it comes. As it is, this is 1, no? So I can keep it. Ille hege bantu andre because summation I 1 to q pi is 1. Right? No? So RHS 1 minus 1 over q pi, it is as it is there. Right? No? So therefore now come to this next part. So ln here what it was, pi ln of QPI, and here I'll bring this, I'll multiply both the side by log of e to the base 2. Then it will become like this. So finally deriving this equation and simplifying, you are going to get h of s is less than or equal to log of q to the base 2. Log of q to the base 2 it will become. So I'll be providing the notes. You just concentrate on those notes. The answer will be same. You will be able to understand, right? Therefore final answer is h of s is equal to log of q to the base 2. It is not 9. By mistake it has become 9 while typing, right? So h of s will be equal to log of q to the base 2. That means the final answer is entropy attains its maximum value when all the source symbol becomes equal probable. Remember this is one of the very important property of entropy. That is, entropy will attain its maximum value when all the symbols are equally probable. That means suppose if there are two symbols, 1 by 2, 1 by 2, same probability. If there are 4 symbols, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. Because you know that maximum value of probability is 1. 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4. One answer is 1. If there are 3 probabilities, 1 by 3, 1 by 3, 1 by 3. What it says, if you want to get maximum value of entropy, all the symbols should have same value of probability. That's what it says. Hopefully you might have understood. Now let us go to the next property. It says property of additivity. If a symbol SQ is partitioned into n sub symbol, then it doesn't decrease the entropy. That means suppose in a set of symbols, say S1, S2, S3, S4, which are having probabilities as say P1, P2, P3, P4, PQ, then if you take any one particular symbol, say S1 or say SQ, and if you divide this symbol into sub symbols, say if I take the last symbol SQ, if I make it as sub symbol, say SQ as SQ1, SQ2, SQ3, right? As I done it here, let me change this font size, right? So let SQ is SQ1, SQ2 dash dash say SQ1 with probabilities PQ1, PQ2, PQ3 dash dash is PQN. Then PQ is nothing but if you add all these probabilities, PQ1 plus PQ2 plus PQ3 dash dash is PQN, right? Now the splitted symbol entropy. Let me call this splitted entropy as h dash of x. H dash of s. So what are done here? I have done nothing to the remaining symbols. Say P1, S1, S2, S3 up to say SQ minus 1. They are occurring with the probabilities P1, P2, P3 dash dash say PQ minus 1. Then only the last symbol say SQ. SQ. It has been splitted as say SQ1, SQ2, SQ3 dash dash say SQN. With respect to probabilities say PQ1, PQ2, PQ3 dash dash say PQN. Then what happens? The first I equal to 1 to Q minus 1 number of symbols and only the last symbol has been splitted, then I'll be carrying it out the calculations in this fashion and I'll be seeing that what I'll get final equation h dash of x is equal to h of s plus one positive quantity which is negligible here. Therefore it says if you divide any one particular symbol into n sub symbols, the answer for the entropy will not alter or it will remain same. That is the property. This is the third property. Obviously I'll be giving the notes in the Google Classroom and I know that you'll be understanding that. It is not so important derivation. You see one more property, source efficiency. This is also one of the property of entropy. Source efficiency expressed as n or eta, and it says entropy h of s divided by maximum value of entropy. There is a difference. Just now we calculated and we derived one equation for maximum value of entropy. Can you tell me now when entropy will be maximum? Yes? Please answer the question. When entropy will attain its maximum value? Are you following my question?
Yes, sir.
Just I concluded one property. No, in that property what I said? When entropy will have its maximum value? So tough question. Okay, let me answer the question. Entropy will attain its maximum value when all the symbol have same probability. Just I said no. If you have got only two symbols, say S1 and S2, they should have probabilities as 1 by 2, 1 by 2. Right? If you have got one more, say, that is here, instead of 1 by 2, 1 by 2, S1 and S2 can have probabilities as 1 by 4 and 3 by 4. No, possible, no. What if S1 have the probability 1 by 4 and S2 has got the probability 3 by 4? The probabilities are not same. If you add up all the probabilities, the answer is 1 only, obviously. 1 by 3 plus 3 by 4, how much answer? Answer is 1, no. But one thing that is happening is, both S1 and S2 are not having same probability. S1 is having 1 by 4 probability, whereas S2 is having 3 by 4 probability. If I make S1 and S2 to have same probabilities, that is 1 by 2, 1 by 2, then I can say entropy will attain its maximum value. Suppose instead of two symbols, if I got three symbols, then S1, S2, S3 should have the same probability value. Then only I can say h of s will have maximum value. That is, S1 should have 1 by 3, S2 should have 1 by 3, and S3 should have 1 by 3. If I got such values, then I can say h of s will attain maximum value. So the same thing is here. Efficiency of any source which is emitting the symbols, its efficiency can be expressed as say n or eta. Instead of n, most of the time it is taken as eta also. It is taken as eta also, right? So eta is equal to or n equal to h of s, that is normal value of entropy. normal value of entropy divided by maximum value of entropy. That is maximum value of entropy. Therefore, if you take normal value of entropy and if you divide this by its maximum value, that will define the source efficiency. That will define its source efficiency. One more final property of entropy, that is source redundancy. What is source redundancy? Source redundancy and source efficiency, they are contradictory to each other. That means if one increases, another decreases. That's why you are seeing source redundancy equation R suffix ns. Instead of writing source efficiency as n, I'll be writing n suffix s. It means same. Don't worry at all. If you want, I'll put it as n. Okay. So source redundancy is R suffix ns is equal to 1 minus ns. What is this ns? Efficiency. That means if you add up source efficiency and source redundancy, the answer will be 1. Now this completes the set of properties. Now I'll give one problem for homework. You do it and calculate the answer and tell me in the next class. Note on the answer, note on the question. This question is not there yet. I'll be just framing this question here. A source having S having symbol S is equal to, note down please. A source having 4 symbols, say S1, S2, S3, S4. A source S having 4 symbols, say S is equal to, in flower bracket to write S1, S2, S3, S4. With respect to probabilities, P is equal to, in the flower bracket to write 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. Then verify entropy properties. Is the question clear to all of you? What I am saying?
Yes, sir.
I'll repeat the question. A source having 4 symbols, say capital S is equal to, in flower bracket S1, S2, S3, S4. With respect to probabilities, P, capital P is equal to P1, P2, P3, P4, which is same, that is 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4, 1 by 4. If such is the thing, then verify the properties of entropy. Right? Very simple it is. Now only you do it and you tell me the answer in tomorrow's class. Is the thing clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Don't shy off asking the doubt, because it is online class. I don't know to what extent you are following, because it is mathematical subject. But if you follow my guidelines, if you read the notes, practice the thing, definitely 100% I will give guarantee. Even if tomorrow exams are offline, you'll be able to pass this subject with good marks. In my subject in the last 6 years, none has failed, and I know that this time also nobody will fail. Only thing you need to practice, that's all. Practice is the only thing which is very important in error control coding. Hope so I have done the justice with my discussion. So I'll sign up. Tomorrow we'll meet once again. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, bye.